That was hilarious.
It was.
Hey man, we got an album review, man. Hey man, Johnny's man.
Hey,
Tyler B Creator came out with a new album, Chromakopia. It is his
eighth studio album. I
eighth
believe.
studio album. Came out on last Monday. So we had a good time to sit here and digest it.
For sure.
You know, just sit with the music. So Johnny, just your initial thoughts about the album.
Well, before I get into my thoughts, how did you feel about the Monday release? Like, I know for albums used to be released on Tuesday, then they started being released on Fridays.
Yeah.
So with this being a Monday release, the first early week release in a very long time.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It felt different. Like, I mean, and I guess it depends on the artist. Like, I'm not saying that a Tyler album, you know, it doesn't excite me, but you know, I'm a fan of the music, but it ain't like, oh my God, play. Like, you know what I'm saying? It would have to be that type of artist for me to feel any type of way about it being a Monday release.
Understood.
But
okay.
I mean, but if you're just in the sense of albums dropping on Monday at 8, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm not mad at it. Because it's like, I guess because I have my Monday routine and what that is. And you know, it might be press and play on OS by 8 a.m. I hope y'all do that. You know
talk about it.
So it's just, I would hope that, you know, it would have to be that type of artist for me to feel like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, if it's a trend that continues, I ain't mad at it. It's been so many other things. We done got Friday. Man, listen, if you that person, you that nigga,
you can do
what you want.
Facts. No, okay.
And that's a flex from Tyler.
I feel that. But my initial thoughts on the album, I really enjoyed it. I think it's somewhat of a mix of pretty much all of his past albums. I wasn't really sure what to expect, like sonically, because I mean, going from Flower Boy to Igor was like a big style difference, and then from Igor to Call Me If You Get Lost, another big style difference.
Yeah.
But I think the core of Tyler the Creator as an artist is always there. So overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the
album. I share the sentiment. Like, I think it's a lot of what I've heard before from Tyler, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's just like, I know that this is a safe space for me to make this music.
Yeah.
And you know, the features, everything just kind of aligned. There were some things I liked, some things I was like, oh, and then, you know, I don't think anything was bad or trash. Like, I'm not coming from that angle, but it's just like, oh, this is cool.
This is cool.
Yeah, this is cool. I mean, so what's your high points of the album?
High points on the album. Going from track one. Well, okay. First of all, let me say this: in the year 2024, never did I think I would hear an album start off with a whisper song. I did not think that would happen, like in this year. But but the intro was dope.
Yeah.
But the intro going into track 2, I think is Rat-Ta-Ta,
which is a completely different change of pace.
Right. Yeah. Right. But that beat was so hard.
Honestly. Rat-Ta-Ta should have started off together.
Man, look.
Listen, if you want to grab my attention, come like
that.
Whoa.
Wait.
Whoa.
Time out. That's how you present the album.
That's how you start the album off.
That's funny as hell. Another highlight for me is the storytelling. The storytelling on this album. I think Take Your Mask Off. Judge Judy, Hey Jane is one of my top songs on this album, just from a storytelling perspective, right? I think he did that really well. And the other thing with Tyler, which has been a theme throughout his career with his albums, is a lot of his music is like produced, arranged, all of that by him.
Yeah.
Now there are some albums where he has other people come in and produce as well, but this particular album is fully done by him. He did everything on this album. So the fact that we've been able to get such a great album with him doing pretty much everything on it is dope as hell. What's some of your highs?
Definitely Rat-Ta-Ta. Hey Jane, Judge Judy. Come on now, Sticky. I mean, hey man. hey man, Tyler's still the baddest bitch on this album.
Talk about it.
But listen, you got Big Glow Sexy and Lil Wayne on the track. Hey,
one thing that Tyler's gonna do is have a Lil Wayne feature. I think he done had a Lil Wayne feature on every album since Cherry Bomb, which is like his 3rd or 4th. That's crazy.
I ain't mad at him. Lil Wayne never disappoints when it comes to, like, trading bars with Tyler. So
for sure,
I really enjoyed. It was. I'm kind of on the fence because I like hidden features, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that's not just like a. I mean, that's just like an industry thing. Certain things, like, you can probably press play on a Beyonce album that should have happened. Like, I'm like, oh no, I want to know who's on the song.
right.
Whose vocals are these? Like this, because I see Daniel Caesar on here. I could have swore Frank Ocean was on this album.
Right,
I see Daniel Caesar twice. So I'm like, I thought he was out of here. Like,
nope,
thank you, Tyler, for saving his life.
Facts.
They got him up out of here.
Man, I agree, right? But I think the hidden features only make sense in certain situations. I think the hidden feature on Like That, I think was perfect because nobody was expecting Kendrick to be on there. Yeah. But on an album like this, why are you hiding this?
Yeah,
like what's there to hide?
Like the sticky joint with Glow, Sexy. It's like you hear the. I'm like, oh,
we know who this is.
Oh, but still, like, oh,
yeah,
like, that's kind of like how I was, because I think the songs like Ratata and Sticky like are completely different change of paces in the how the album sounds. Like these are either meant to be singles or just some type of standout track because it doesn't. I'm not saying it. Okay, maybe I am saying it doesn't fit. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Because to go from Judge Judy to Sticky, bro, like
it's different.
Judge Judy, and then it go to Stick. Like, come on, bro.
But see,
that's like,
you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because also listening to this album, you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like, and no disrespect. This sounds like a better curated version of Schoolboy Q's album that came out this year.
Okay.
Because, yes, like you just mentioned, a lot of the production, it sounds like it's a little all over the place, but I do feel like it kind of fits. It kind of fits. Unlike Schoolboy Q's, it was literally one extreme to the next throughout the entire album. Yeah. If that makes sense. So.
Yeah. And then it was one song, I'm not sure if it's Take Your Mask Off or it was one of them songs. It just sounded like just something that just should have been on Call Me If You Get Lost. And I'm not saying that's a leftover, but had leftover vibes.
Okay.
Not saying that's a bad thing, but I was just like, this just sounds like something he was in that space of making. Gotcha. And sometimes, and I think that was kind of like, maybe if I could say it was a low light or a nitpick, that's really what that was. Not to say nothing's wrong with staying in the safe space, but it just felt like, no, this probably should have been on this album. Like maybe that's just how I was hearing it. And one thing I do enjoy about this album, I can play it through. Like I didn't skip, any songs.
And that's a good point. I don't think too many complete albums that came out this year or no skips. And this album sounds like it should be played from track 1 to track 14.
It really should.
The only other 2 albums I could think, the Eminem album sounds that way. The Death of Slim Shady, and then the Doechii album. Doechii album kind of sounds like that too, which she calls a mixtape. But I was about to say,
and you haven't listened to Big X, right?
I got it downloaded, but not yet.
Big X's album is like that.
Okay,
it's like play that joint from like don't start in the middle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's serial killer activity anyway.
Yeah.
Don't start the album from the middle.
Don't do that. But no, I mean, so I think we pretty much highlighted it. You know, for real. So out of 5, what you ranking it? I know it's gonna be high.
Yeah. I think I think this album is as close to flawless as it could be. Not saying that it's but it's as close to flawless as I think it could be, but I don't know what I would do to improve it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like
I want to give it a 5, but I can't. I feel like I can't give it a 5.
Nah,
not a 5.
Because and okay, maybe I shouldn't compare it to previous works, but it's not better than his last. You know what I'm saying?
See,
and that's not fair. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
You only as funky as your last cut.
Right. True. No, that's true. But see, I don't know if I agree. As much as I love Call Me If You Get Lost, and again, this is 98% maybe recency bias, but I do feel like this album is better than Call Me If You Get Lost.
What, is it shorter?
No, just from and I know Call Me If You Get Lost was more like a Gangsta Grills, and DJ Drama kind of held the gel of all the songs together, even with his mom being somewhat of a narrator to the album as well, like she was on this one. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on why I feel like this one is better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it takes time.
But anyway,
we can always revisit the take.
True.
So 4.5.
No, for real. Like, yeah, that's where I'm going.
Okay. I'm in the space of like, and that's because like I'm not the biggest Tyler fan, but I mean I can acknowledge when the music is good.
Yeah.
But it's somewhere between like 3.5 and 4 for me. So I'll say 3.75.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's where it is for me. Like I think I enjoy it. I think I'm gonna keep it on my phone, keep it in my playlist.
For sure.
And I've been enjoying what I've heard. And I, like you said, the storytelling and stuff like that. And I can't put my finger on it, but that one song sounds like Say Your Name. And I just couldn't let it go. Wait. And that's the song I was talking about. Remember I was saying, like, what's your name?
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
it's a song on here that sounds like that or in that vein. And it was like,
interesting.
Like he was just singing. Like, I mean, I'm saying nothing ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no, I got
it just sounds like, oh, that worked. Let me do it again. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. No, I'm gonna go back and revisit see if I
And that, I mean, listen, I'm nitpicking. I ain't but it's not a hate nitpick. You know what I'm saying? It's just coming from I think I'm more objective on Tyler's music than Johnny is, and the way that's his man's. But I mean, it's true. Just a little bit.
Look, I always acknowledge my bias. I do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we here.
Yeah, we here. Hey man, well, I know what